Hello, welcome to the book spinning tutorial. Book spinning is also known as pediddling, and that's what I'd like to show you today. Now, it can be done with many different objects, with pillows or with books. To actually learn it, it helps to have the best tools around to practice with. So first I'd like to let you know my experiences. When I first practiced this, the book would always fall apart and get easily folded at the corners. So what I started to do was to wrap it with cloth tape. And wrapping the ends with cloth tape really reinforced the ends, and it actually puts the gravity more on the outside, which helps the spin. This also allows you to make different sizes with how to do it. Okay? So let's go ahead and talk about the similarities with some of the different objects that I have here and the book spinning, just to give you some better insights about it. Now, some people have compared it with spinning a ball, and it is similar to spinning a ball in the sense that you have to spin it a certain direction. So it matters which way you're spinning the object. Okay? Also similar with plate spinning, it matters which direction you go with the object. So with plate, you would, either way you want, I like going from the outside in, and then it goes to the center. Now this is more similar to the book spinning because we start on the outside and actually try to go into the center to achieve that main balance. So let's go ahead and look actually how we do it. So the best advice I can give you is I like doing it with my pointing finger first. I'll stick it on the farthest, most outside point of my object. So this is where I'm going to start out, and I'm going to start on the outside most. So that's going to be my orientation. And then I'm going to go either circle direction. Now different directions have different techniques, so it's good to pay attention to each one. Now I used a 5-centimeter diameter in all directions to make sure that I kind of have a placeholder with doing it. So I'll go ahead and start it. And this one I'm going to go ahead and do thumb in. So the most I can spin my hand is this way. The thumb is on the outside, and I'm going to start going in with the spin. So as I do that, the easiest one for this one, thumb in, would be I like lifting it up and actually seeing where the spin is. So as I spin it, I'm looking right where that circle forms. And I go around in circles with it, going in that same direction, making a small circle in that area. That's the start. Once we have the start, get it going, then try to find that little center spot. It's going to be a jolt to the center. And that's where that balance has occurred. So there's two different parts with that. It's the start, and that's going around, and then jolting and swinging towards the center of it to find that balance. So as we do it, the different objects are a little bit easier to do it with. So this is my favorite object. I've made it with a couple books. And I have the surrounding area with some more tape to help me. Sorry, Pomeranian puppies. So when practicing it, that's that direction. Let's talk about the other direction. That would be the thumb. So I'd start with the finger on the outermost where of the circle. And this one I'm going to have the thumb on the inside. And as I spin it, the thumb's going to go this direction towards the inside of me again. But it starts on the outside. I'm going to spin it. And for this one, I like doing it a little more under me so I can kind of see on top of it. It's one of the few props that you can actually keep the balance going without having to look at it. And there's a dynamic continuity here that we can keep going endlessly. That's one of the good things about it. So if you're a waiter, it's a really good trick to learn with like a waiting tray, or if a student, you can use it with books. Make sure you practice both sides always with those same techniques. When I first started doing it, I would do 5 sets of 5. That's what I like. I'll do 5 sets one direction with the start, 5 sets the other direction with the start, 5 sets of just trying to hold it, 5 sets one direction trying to hold it, try not to look at it, and doing it both hands. Not only do I practice with the index finger, it's good to practice with all the fingers, especially when you're learning. And you don't have to bend the rest of your fingers down. You can keep them up a little bit too, which is kind of what I like for a more relaxed point. For a performance, like in the circus, they might use a fabric object with the same type of pediddling, and they'll have their fingers bent more to accentuate the spin. I hope you have a better luck trying the book spinning, and all these techniques can be used with the pillow spinning. Weight is another issue that should be talked about. When I first got my book, it was way too heavy and bent the finger a lot. So try to practice something that's not too light, like this cutting mat, a little too light. It's more of an advanced way of doing it. Try to find a balance. So I almost make the book with something that's a little bit easier to spin with. And then once you know how to do that, then you can transfer that skill to any object. Thank you. Hope you can have a good time and learn the book spinning.